The Rangers just signed the worst starting pitcher in baseball, and it's a sign that they're panicking. And I'm going to tell you why. You should be panicking too.
You are Locked On Rangers, your daily Texas Rangers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are locked onto the Texas Rangers, the first and best daily Rangers podcast. I'm Bryce Patrick, a cripplingly addicted Texas Rangers fan covering this team for 11 seasons, including all 6 as the founder and host of this podcast. Thank y'all so much for making Locked On Rangers your first listen every single day. If you're not already, you can follow me on Twitter at Bryce Patrick. You can follow the show at Locked On Rangers. Hit subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform and on YouTube, where the best way you can help grow the show is to comment nearly any single thing below. Now, on today's show, I'm talking about the Rangers signing Patrick Corbin, and why that's a sign that they're panicking, why that's absolutely not what they should have done, and why both you, Kumar Rocker, and Jack Leiter should all be furious about it. And we'll talk a little bit about the Rangers Sports Network and some difficulties watching those games. Before we get into all of that, today's episode was brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Now, yesterday, it didn't take long for the Rangers to prove my version 3.0 of the opening day roster projection immediately wrong. They signed Patrick Corbin, which I did suggest they might do. They might do it. I thought, no, the Rangers aren't going to do something desperate. The Rangers aren't going to do something crazy. They aren't going to sign somebody just because of this Cody Bradford injury and this John Gray injury. I thought, Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker, they're not quite ready, but almost ready enough that they can do a good enough job while those 2 starting pitchers that ideally would be in the Rangers rotation are on the IL. But nope, the Rangers have signed Patrick Corbin to a 1-year Major League deal, the amount of which has not been disclosed. And I went after this signing and I tried to find something positive to say about Patrick Corbin. I thought, I know word of mouth that this guy has been the worst starting pitcher in baseball for the last half decade, but I thought surely it's not that bad. Maybe everyone's over exaggerating it. And well, my friends, I'm here to tell you that's not the case. He is really just that bad. I mean, this has been by far the worst starting pitcher in baseball for the last 5 seasons. Before that, he was a very good starting pitcher. He is a 2-time All-Star. He is a World Series champion with the Washington Nationals in 2019. I mean, 2 of the worst contracts that have ever been given out in the last, decade of baseball were both 2019 were actually 3 of them really coming from that 2019 World Series champion team. Right after that offseason, after winning the World Series in 2019, Anthony Rendon signed that big old contract. That obviously didn't work out well. Patrick Corbin signed a massive deal to go back to the Nationals. And, of course, the man, the myth, the legend who barely pitched another day after that, Steven Strasburg, signed a massive deal and then just was never, ever healthy again. I'm sure Nats fans, relish and cherish that championship, but there was some bad financial blowback from that season. The last couple of years, it has just been really, really rough for Patrick Corbin, the left-handed starter who, he posts. That's the thing about this deal. That's why I suggested it, because also since 2017, nobody has made more starts than Patrick Corbin. Nobody. He hasn't pitched the most innings in that span because he's been so bad he can't go 6, 7, 8 innings, but he has been healthy. He has been starting. He's made 30-plus starts every full season since 2017. 32 in 2017, 33 2018, 33 2019, 31, 31, 32, 32. He also made 11 in that 2020 COVID-shortened season. But the last few years, he's just been bad. He had a 5.6 ERA, and that's not sugarcoating anything. That's not, inflated because of a couple of bad starts. He just has a lot of bad starts. The year before that, a slightly better 5.20 ERA. Year before that, a 6.31 ERA. The year before that, a 5.81 ERA, and then a 4.66 ERA in 11 starts in that COVID-shortened season of 2020. With a 4.66 ERA. He's just been bad. And even though we don't know the financial terms of this deal, I can't imagine it's anywhere close to what Andrew Heaney got, 1 year, $5 million. And I thought, okay, well, this is just an innings eater. And the Rangers did get some good news on John Gray from the same surgeon who did Josh Young's wrist surgery last year, that it was a clean fracture, and it was a forearm fracture, not a wrist fracture. So that is lucky that it was just a clean fracture. No surgery will be required. Thankfully, it doesn't seem like it cut into anything in the forearm that is going to, require some kind of surgical repair, because the Rangers were prepared for him to miss as many as 4 months. And now it seems like John Gray might be back in June, with Cody Bradford maybe back in May. So hopefully this doesn't take too long for these guys to get back and healthy and back in the Rangers rotation, and for Patrick Corbin to not be in this rotation. And, the reason I said, I don't think the Rangers are going to do that much, because I forgot how far away they were from the luxury tax. I thought, okay, I thought they were pushing right up there against it, and that, maybe a less than $5 million deal was the most they can do. And then I went back and looked at Fangraph's projection for the Rangers payroll and also Spot Tracks, and the Rangers are about $19 million away from the cap. They are not close to that. And they are worried about the luxury tax with this deal. I mean, you look at the other starting pitchers. The reason I said, no, Kyle Gibson's not going to be an option. Lance Lynn's not going to be an option. The most those two would cost, either of those would cost for a 1-year deal, is maybe $12 million. Maybe. That's, if we're feeling very generous for Kyle Gibson, who, was about a league average starter last year, which Patrick Corbin was not league average. I mean, last year, Lance Lynn had a 3.8 ERA in 23 starts, nearly 120 innings. Last year, Kyle Gibson, a 4.2 ERA, 30 starts, 1 out shy of 170 innings. That kind of production, that's fine. That's respectable. That's the kind of guy who you can plug into your rotation if you miss a couple of starters. And if the other starters in your rotation, Tyler Mahle we'll talk about in a second, Jacob deGrom is not going to throw 150 innings. Maybe he'll get 30 starts. He'll probably max out at like 125-ish innings, I think, this year. With all the precautions with him of keeping him healthy, you mainly want him ready for a postseason spot. And Eovaldi, he's getting another year older. He's in his mid-30s. Maybe he'll give you 170 innings like he did last year, but it had been a while since he'd even done that before last year. I mean, you're asking a lot from these starters, especially now with John Gray going down to injury, with Cody Bradford going down for a little bit due to injury. And as much as my frustrations with John Gray of him not being, great, for lack of a better word, he's still at least a league average starter. Even with last year being, not great, he was at least a league average starter. This is not a league average starter. This is a kind of guy that a losing team signs. This is not a deal that a winning team signs. This is left-handed Jordan Lyles. I mean, the Rangers tried a Jordan Lyles out there in 2021, a season in which they lost 100 games. He started 30 games, a 5.15 ERA, 180 innings, the kind of innings muncher, which that's how he was described by basically everybody, is an innings eater. He's going to go out there and he will be out there. He will give up runs. And this Rangers offense is going to face a lot of pressure, just a lot of pressure to be not just good, but outstanding. And if I were Jack Leiter, if I were Kumar Rocker, if I were Dane Dunning, I'd take this personally. You think this guy's better than me? This guy who's been horrible, not just bad, horrible the last few years. You think I'm that far away from being ready that you're going to go ahead and make another major league signing? 9 days away from opening day? We're now 8 days. That was 9 days when they signed him. I'd be pissed. I'd be furious if I were one of those 3 guys. Because Dane Dunning, he was not great last year, but he wasn't this bad. And the fact that the Rangers aren't even considering him for a starting role, I'd be furious. He hasn't pitched that badly. He's looked better this spring. The stuff has looked better. He's trimmed down on his weight. He seems to be better. Jack Leiter, I know he's still struggling to stay in the zone or find the right balance of being in the zone and out of the zone. Rocker, he's been frustrating for sure. I still think he needs to throw that sinker more. I still haven't seen him throw a cutter at all this spring or last year in the major leagues or in the minor leagues. He's apparently got it, but I don't know why he's not trusting it. He's just trusting the curveball, rock ball, and the four-seam fastball, which the four-seam fastball is not that great, and the velocity is down just a smidge from where it was last year. Not anything concerning. Still, averaging around 96. That's not bad by any means, but not the 97, 98 that he was averaging in the minor leagues last year. And he just hasn't quite found it. Also, there will be those limits on how frequently he pitches, I'm assuming, and how many pitches he can throw when he is throwing. So I get that, but Leiter, I would take that personally. But I do appreciate Chris Young saying, hey, these guys are not going to be just handed a spot in the starting rotation. They've got to earn it. And if this is the kind of guy who the Rangers are signing because the Rangers prospects in Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker haven't earned it, I am terrified for how far away Chris Young thinks those guys actually are. Coming up, we're going to talk a little bit more about this rotation, about Tyler Mahle having a very, very encouraging outing last night, and why it's still really difficult to watch a Rangers game. All that and more right after this. This show is brought to you by Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site that's made for the skilled trades. Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for the trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. So join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. This show is also brought to you by Game Time. There's nothing better than catching an MLB game live. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, and the smell of ballpark food. And if you're looking to go last minute, Game Time makes getting tickets even easier. With last minute deals, all in pricing, and a lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the stress out of buying MLB tickets. Plus, tickets prices drop closer it gets to game time, meaning you can score an incredible deal. And with it being so difficult to even catch Rangers games on TV, maybe you just need to go to all the games. Go get those tickets with Game Time. Trust me, it is a fantastic experience. I have used Game Time. I will always be using Game Time to get those last minute tickets. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Shout out to the Airs making Locked On Rangers your first listen every single day. On tomorrow's show, we'll be talking about Jacob deGrom's start today. Hopefully, he will be actually starting. Hopefully, there won't be any rain. Unfortunately, it will not be televised. We'll get to the TV nonsense in just a little bit. But a couple more things I wanted to touch on Patrick Corbin, because Chris Young did acknowledge, hey, this guy, yeah, he has been bad. It would be insane if Chris Young didn't know that he does apparently know that, still sign him anyway. But one of the things that Chris Young said as a reason for justifying signing this guy, who has been empirically the worst starting pitcher in baseball for the last half decade, he said, well, we saw a change in his pitch mix in the second half that made us encouraged that there's still something there for Patrick Corbin, because his velocity was never elite. It's not like he's lost stuff. The slider does still grade out as a very good pitch. It's the only pitch that grades out as even above average. Everything else is horrible. I mean, the sinker, which he threw his primary pitch last year, was a -20 run value pitch. That's pretty far and away one of the worst pitches in baseball, and he threw it the most, so maybe throwing that less would be better. But he said in the second half, that was different. The pitch mix was different. He looked better. Well, his first half ERA last year was 5.57. Second half ERA, 5.68. So take what you will from that. If he throws the slider a whole lot more, sure, hopefully he will be better than last year. Hopefully he doesn't make that many starts, honestly, because it's not a real sign of a winning team, of your team going out there, cheaping out on a guy, and getting the worst starting pitcher over the last half decade because your prospects aren't quite ready yet. And you know what? It's not that this was the worst option he could have chosen. It's just incredibly frustrating that Ray Davis is so terrified of $1 million or $2 million or whatever in luxury tax that he won't even think about going near it. Which, again, we'll get into in a second. But one starting pitcher who is not the worst starting pitcher over the last 5 seasons, has made significantly fewer starts than Patrick Corbin, is Tyler Mahle, who looked fantastic last night. I mean, just downright fantastic, throwing 50 pitches. Oh, I did want to get to one last thing I almost forgot because ADHD. So fun having that memory. But Patrick Corbin is built up to 80 pitches. There is a chance that he will start the season not on the Rangers roster. He will not be joining the team in Arizona, mainly because they have about a week until they are done in Arizona and head back home to Arlington. That'll be on Monday, because Patrick Corbin's wife is expecting their third child to give birth to their third child. I don't think their third child will be giving birth, but congratulations to the Corbin family. So the Rangers said he will be joining them in Arlington after his third child is born. Congratulations to them. Best wishes to that family. Hope, father of 3 now. Maybe the third child will help him find that 2018-2019 form. Who knows? But congratulations to the Corbin family nonetheless. Tyler Mahle on him last night, throwing 5 pitches. He's going to be built up to somewhere in the 80-85 pitch mark when the season starts. But it was a really quality Tyler Mahle start last night. 5 innings, 6 strikeouts, just 2 walks. Only 2 hits he allowed were both solo home runs. Might have been a little wind aided. One of them coming from former Ranger great, former World Series champion Austin Hedges, who can't get into one. He does have raw power. He doesn't make basically any contact, but when he does, he can send that baseball a long way, and he sure did that last night. 109 miles an hour off the bat. A little bit fastball heavy for Tyler Mahle in that start because the fastball looked straight up good. It looked much more like the Tyler Mahle that we had seen in seasons past. The average velocity on that fastball was 92.8 miles an hour, up from where it was earlier on in the spring, where he was, in the 89, 90, averaging 91-ish range, which is not ideal for him. The spin rate, the movement on that pitch, all of that profile looked much, much better. He looked much more like the Tyler Mahle the Rangers thought they might be getting when they signed him to that 2-year deal, thinking, okay, you rest, rehab, don't get much out of you in 2024, but this is more about 2025. The movement on that pitch was fantastic. The swing and miss rate was excellent. 16 swings, 9 swings and misses on the fastball, couple of swings and misses on the splitter. Didn't look quite as sharp with the splitter. He threw 35 four-seam fastballs, 24 splitters, 10 sliders, no swings and misses on that slider. It's not really his best pitch. Did allow a little bit of hard contact on that slider, a little bit of hard contact on the splitter. The splitter was up a little bit too much in the zone, but if that four-seam fastball is like that, if it looks like that, if the command is like that, if he can get a little bit better of feel, later on in the spring, maybe he can get with Nathan Eovaldi and work on improving that splitter, just like Kirby Yates did last year. Maybe Mahle, go talk to Evo. Say, hey, how do you grip that splitter? Can you teach me to throw it like Kirby Yates did last year? Because Kirby Yates had an incredibly effective splitter, and he was also averaging around 93-ish miles an hour with the four-seam fastball. And he also had a splitter or a slider that was not great. If Mahle can get that kind of a usage. Also, Mahle has a cutter. I don't think we've seen it much this spring. I don't know if he's just shelving it, trying to get the feel for the splitter and the slider a little bit more. But if he looks like this in the regular season, that is a hugely great sign for the Rangers, who will be counting quite a bit on Tyler Mahle to be, their number 3 in this rotation, and to be kind of a bulk guy that he hasn't been in a long time. I mean, the last time he made even 20 starts in a season was 2022. He threw 120 innings that year and had a 4.4 ERA between Cincinnati and Minnesota. He got traded at the deadline and, was hurt a lot down the stretch. He only made those 4 starts after being traded from Cincinnati. He made 19 with Cincy, then just 5 starts in 2023, just 3 starts last year, shutting down after coming back from Tommy John surgery with shoulder soreness, and that was it for him last year. The Rangers need a lot of starts and a lot of quality starts out of Mahle. They're going to be asking quite a bit from him, and I'm hoping that he could give them that, 25, 30 starts. Can he give the Rangers 150 innings? The Rangers kind of need that at this point. They need him to go, not just pitch in games, but be good in his starts and give them depth, give them length in these starts. Be economical with his pitch count. Maybe sacrifice some of those strikeouts for some early week contact. Just get outs, be effective. Because, I mean, the three pitchers that are for sure making this opening day roster, I don't even know what I'm not making another opening day roster projection between now and the next 8 days before opening day. We know Jacob deGrom is going to be on there again, barring health. Nathan Eovaldi is going to be there. Tyler Mahle is going to be there. And then who knows? Maybe Patrick Corbin's there. Maybe it's Jack Leiter as the fourth starter and Corbin is the fifth starter in this rotation. Maybe it's Rocker. I mean, who knows at this point? And there are so many question marks about all of these. And, this is a little bit of Chris Young's own making. This is a bit of his own mess. He didn't bring back Jose Urena, who would have been perfect in this role. Did so well for the Rangers, not even on a minor league deal. He just signed a minor league deal with the Mets, and he was very, very valuable for the Rangers last year. And the only reason the Rangers were still in contention with the injuries and nonsense that happened with the starting pitching rotation last year is because Jose Urena was pitching incredibly well, and those 9 starts that he made for the Rangers, pitched over 100 innings for Texas last year, and they really could have used that this year. They could use that right now. But alas, they didn't do that. Alas, they didn't make a move to bring back Heaney, even as a kind of depth option. I didn't blame them for not doing that because it seemed like they have enough depth. But again, like Chris Young said, heading into the 2023 season, you can never have enough starting pitching, and he was absolutely right. Anything can go wrong, especially when they are pitchers who throw with their arms. That there are injuries that happen, and though I think the most frustrating part about the John Gray injury is that this wasn't even an elbow injury. This wasn't an overthrowing. This is just line drive, broken forearm, sucks. That's just the luck of. That's just the way baseball go sometimes, unfortunately. Just another frustrating thing for this Rangers team who probably should have spent a little bit of more money supplementing this roster, because it seems like they're getting quite a bit of money in this TV deal, because it's incredibly difficult to watch these cable games. Coming up, we'll talk a little bit about that package. Where do you even find these Rangers games? Why is it so incredibly difficult for those who even had Bally Sports last year? We'll talk about all that and more right after this. This show is brought to you by Just Ingredients. When it comes to fueling your body, quality matters. That's why Just Ingredients is changing the game with clean, high-quality products designed to support better health and peak performance. Just Ingredients offers NSF-certified line of protein powder, electrolytes, pre-workout, and creatine, all rigorously tested to ensure they're free from substances banned by major athletic associations. Just Ingredients is also partnered with 2-time MVP Bryce Harper, who trusts their NSF-certified sports line to fuel his training and recovery. I love that Just Ingredients prioritizes wholesome, nourishing ingredients without all the artificial junk. Whether you're recovering after a workout or need an energy boost, their grass-fed, whey protein, and pre-workout deliver real results. Visit justingredients.us and use code LOCKEDONMLB for 20% off. And for more wellness tips, follow @just.ingredients on Instagram.
The NCAA tournament is here, and so is the Bracket Breakdown.
Locked On Podcast Network and Amazon Fire TV channels are teaming up to deliver NCAA tournament coverage like never before. Watch studio shows featuring former players and Locked On's local experts as they guide you through every upset, buzzer beater, and bracket matchup.
Stream it all for free on Amazon Fire TV channel. Search Bracket Breakdown to see it all for free.
It's your team every day.
Shout out to the Airders for making Locked On Rangers your first listen every single day. On Friday's show, we'll be back and talk about what the heck we learned about this Rangers team in Arizona. And then next week, baseball starts. We're having 4 different shows, Monday through Thursday, all previewing the season. On Friday, next Friday, I'll be talking about real 2025 regular season Rangers baseball. Oh, we almost made it. We are almost there, y'all. We are so close so close to the start of this regular season and us being able to watch Rangers games. Well, theoretically, the Rangers will have 135 games on Rangers Sports Network on cable, and there are not that many options for you, the Rangers fan, in market to watch these games on Rangers Sports Network. I found out last night trying to get just the Rangers Sports Network on that game. I have Spectrum TV, and I thought, okay, well, I had Bally. I still have now FanDuel Sports Southwest, multiple different channels of FanDuel Sports Southwest, and I thought, okay, that should make things easier. I was told that it would be easier with this new TV deal with the Rangers Sports Network, but it doesn't seem to be the case at this point for Rangers fans. Let's look at what they actually say, what the Rangers say on their website about getting these games. One of the things that they do talk about is the Victory Plus market on here. They do talk about Spectrum a little bit. And one of the things that I did finally confirm, seeing this on the Rangers.com/tune-in, or I guess it's MLB.com/Rangers/schedule/programming. If you just go onto their site and click the tune in, how to watch these Rangers games, it makes things, it explains them as well as it explains them. I will give them that. There are a few different options for Rangers fans. There's DirecTV, there's DirecTV Stream, AT&T Uverse, Spectrum, Fubo, and Astound. They just announced the Fubo partnership, so if you have the Fubo TV streaming service, then that's how you can get this on Spectrum TV. It is channel 448 on DirecTV. It's channel 677 on Uverse. It's channel 1752, and on Astound, it is channel 131. But if you look here at the top, the reason I have all of this here, I have proof of saying, hey, if you do have this channel through your TV provider, then you will be able to plug that information in on the Victory Plus streaming app, and you will not have to pay the $100 to stream Rangers games. But I thought, okay, well, since I had Bally, I should be able to have Bally, FanDuel, whatever the heck the Rangers' former regional sports network is. Now, that's not necessarily the case. They have this in little italics down there below. The Rangers Sports Network is available on DirecTV satellite and satellite free streaming via Choice, Ultimate, and Premier package. And then there's an asterisk and more little information about all of that on some other spot. On Uverse, it's apparently just available on Uverse. With Spectrum, they say Spectrum subscribers who had the Rangers through Bally Sports Southwest last season will have RSN, Rangers Sports Network, this year through the Legacy Select package. Newer subscribers can access RSN via the Select Plus package, which is just all kinds of confusing because I did not have that particular package. The package that I have through Spectrum is the Select package, just the regular Select package that costs $120 a month. Plus, I added another $25 a month for the sports package, which somehow doesn't include MLB Network, and it also doesn't include the Rangers Sports Network. The plan to get RSN is apparently $117 a month, which is less than the package that I'm currently paying for. But the Spectrum site, I went on there, I spent an hour and a half trying to find where on there I could actually just upgrade my package. I only have cable for this. This is the main thing I have cable for. This is for my job, and I spent an hour and a half trying to figure this out, and I'm sure most of you don't have an hour and a half to spend just trying to find what's going on there, what's happening with this. It's such a pain in the butt. So here is what I found about if you have Spectrum. This is the kind of a plan that you can get that will hopefully get you the Rangers Sports Network, but it is just such a pain to find. That's what it looks like on there if you're watching on YouTube. But I went to go and just upgrade my package. I'm like, just where can I find on your website where to get this? They say, okay, well, you can't change your plan on the Spectrum website. Seems like a big issue with Spectrum. I went, okay, just give me some kind of an add-on so that I could add the Rangers Sports Network on there. I look at the sports package upgrade. They only have upgrades on there, and it's nowhere to be found. So now, after this, I'm going to have to probably call spectrum to just find this. And the point in all this is, the point in all of my pain and suffering, that is probably your pain and suffering, is this was supposed to be easier. This was supposed to be more games in Rangers fans' homes, more access to Rangers games for the fans. And I'm already paying so much money, and for me, it's a tax write-off because this is my business. It's a tax write-off for how much I'm spending on this TV package, which is the hundreds of dollars a month, the thousands of dollars over the last few years. And why is it so difficult for Rangers fans? Why do they have to do so much research just to find the games? Honestly, I'm really glad about the Victory Plus app partnership. Even though it's going to be $100 a month, it might be the final straw on me just cutting the cord with cable, which I'm one of the few millennials who still sticks with the cord with cable because the Rangers couldn't cut a deal with YouTube TV or any of these other streaming packages besides Fubo. It's all such a mess. It is all such a pain in the butt just to watch my favorite team play sports. Why is it so difficult? Now I'm not worried about the Mavs and what I'm going to lose with cutting the cord there. I don't ever want to watch a Mavs game again after all that nonsense. If I have Victory Plus, then the Stars, who haven't failed me yet, at least are trying to get their games into fans' homes. They are at least trying. They are making it free. Who knows how much longer it'll be free? But it's just so dang complicated. It's so dang frustrating. And the teams are making so much money from this, and yet they go on a penny pinching spree. They haggle and put press releases out and take home talking points to the GM and to anyone who has access media of, the Rangers, they can't possibly afford to go into this luxury tax, so they have to sign the worst pitcher in baseball. They can only do that. There's no other people the Rangers could have signed with the money that they are saving in whatever this nonsense is of making it harder. I thought that with Bally as the middleman, the incompetent middleman out, the Rangers would be able to make this easier on fans, or that they would actually want to do this. No, they don't want to do this. They just want to pinch every single penny from us. They want to jack prices up on tickets, on parking, on concessions, on watching these games in general. They want more money from their fans invested than ownership is willing to invest themselves. The Texas Rangers are a top 5 media market. DFW is huge. The Rangers have broadcast rights locally in 5 different states, but they're worried about the freaking luxury tax? Are you kidding me? You want me to spend even more than the $145 a month I'm spending on cable? You want to add in these streaming things? They will give away 15 games over the air on Friday night games on CW33. Fine, thanks. That's a couple of games more a year than the average fan can actually watch. Just if you get an antenna, you'll get channel the CW and channel 9. But this is just part of the frustration with fans. Why fans should be upset. Why fans are just sports fans in general are so upset. It's so freaking expensive to just watch these games, and it's so complicated to watch these games, and it shouldn't take spending hours upon hours of just researching where the heck you can even find games, what packages you have to get, how many different streaming, cable, internet, whatever nonsense services that you have to stack on top of each other in this new world of streaming that should have just made life easier, and instead it made life so much more expensive and so much harder. It's just incredibly frustrating when Rangers fans have to spend this much money, time, and effort just to watch the dang games, and ownership says, thank you for all that money. I'm not going to spend it back in the team. Why should fans spend this much time and energy caring about this team, watching this team, going to games, if ownership isn't going to get anywhere near matching their level of financial investment when ownership is a bunch of billionaires? And I'd say for the most part, people listening and watching and caring about the Texas Rangers are not. It's just an incredibly frustrating reality of this sport. And the Patrick Corbin signing is just the epitome of that, along with this Rangers Sports Network nonsense that just makes it so much harder to even watch the games for a team that I care about. That's going to do it for today's show. Thank y'all so much for listening to me whine and complain. And this is a message to myself as much as y'all. Don't forget to enjoy baseball.